wild like my daddy, but straightforward like my mama. Drink like granddad, smoke sluggies like the other. But granddad feels the guts. Hustle like my uncle JT or cousin Big D. I got big dreams like Jimmy Lee, and my aim is still doing it for anything. Keep a job like Uncle Kevin told me. Top notch player like Dave. And that caddy thing since the 80s slab. Big corporate thug and political like Jack. Maybe rest in peace, but I've been taught a lot. See, this hot head wasn't scared to get money nor leave the beef to see. Can't play me like I'm a pawn in the game. Chess, jokes look like Big Kenny and Ski. G like Jarrell, Jeremy. The trigger happy, it's about my family, alone like my granny.
Hey, Mama T, thanks for hopping on.
My shoulders like my daddy's and the lead. Routed like them Tyson seeds. The spiritual like rewards. A go-getter like Arian. A religious, romantic career like no one you know ever. Oh, so like Uno, my soldiers. I told stories like my bro, T-Bird. And cousin Ray, I can get aim like Herb. And free nasty like John and Gene. I can be man, it's respectful. Tattoos, a different breed. I can't wait till they get a load of me. Drake and luxury, memory and lessons from the sexual period. Legacy family, we are unapologetic. Hey, with a wet mentality. We are unapologetic. Hey,
yes, it is. That particular song is entitled Unapologetic. All right. Hey, champions. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. It's yours truly, Arian Tyson. I am sitting in my office here in St. Louis, and it is a privilege and honor to be before you tonight. And I trust that your Thanksgiving was a blessed one. It was a peaceful one, and that you had time to spend time with your family, maybe watch sports if you're into that, and that you took care of eating some real good food. Ramona, I've been here. I've been here every Tuesday at this time, like clockwork. I've been here, but it's good to see you. So thanks for hopping on. Tonight, I want to talk about something that has really, really been on my heart. And I'm glad that your Thanksgiving was awesome. Mine was awesome. It was a lot better this year than it was last year. Last year was by far the worst. It has been it was the worst Thanksgiving by far. It's not even close. And so, Ramona, I would say I share them on this page, and sometimes I stream them from this page. In this case, I'm streaming them from this page, and I shared it on my personal page. So make sure that we're connected on my personal page as well, so that way you don't miss them, because I stream them every Tuesday at the same time. But I appreciate you hopping on. So I want to talk about it's not all in vain. And when I say that, I'm speaking from a very unique place when I say that. And the reason I'm saying that is because I think back, and a lot of people do this on Thanksgiving. We often talk about what we're thankful for. And then we also talk about what we're looking forward to in the new year. And over the last 2 years almost, I have grown a real appreciation for life. And I am on a personal mission to make every second that I have count for something. It's bigger than me. It's personal, but it's beyond personal. And so when I think about where I was at this point last year, dealing with losing my father, seeing someone that I loved abandon me, and going to numerous wakes and funerals. I had an old classmate pass from a heart attack last year, and he was only 2 years older than I am. That wakes you up to things, and you find yourself really paying attention to things that you might have just overlooked. At one point, you might not have thought that it mattered, but when it hits home, it really does matter. And Ramon, I'm sorry for your loss. I wasn't aware that you lost your mom, so I'm sorry for your loss. You definitely have my sympathy and my condolences as well. And even this year, I had to bury my last paternal uncle. So now I only have 2 uncles living. My mom's only brother, and one of my aunts is married. So that uncle. Other than that, all the men are gone. And so it makes you think about stuff, and it makes you realize that you don't have as much time as you think you have to make an impact, to encourage someone, to get your dreams out and be able to be a blessing to someone else. And so over the last week or so, my heart has been heavy because November, a lot of significant events happened in my life that were really good at one point, but now they're bittersweet. But what I'm thankful for is that those memories that were once precious to me and are now bittersweet, they're being replaced by brand new memories that are just as precious. And so I'm thankful for that because it helped me realize that what we go through is not meant to kill us. It's meant to strengthen us. And because of that, it's not all in vain. Everything that you've gone through, every setback, every hurt, every heartbreak, every time you've been lied on, every time you've been lied to, every time you've been abandoned, betrayed, whatever the case may be, I am living proof that it is not all in vain. And the reason I say that is because of this reason. Because if I did not go through what I went through, then I would not have tapped into the passion that you're hearing right now. Because I'm not coming out of a place of anger. No, I'm coming out of a place of someone who has been restored. Because when you lose hope in something, when you begin to question yourself because things that you never thought would happen, you start to doubt yourself. You start to question yourself. You start to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what is it about me that's causing all of this stuff to happen? But then I thought about something. Everybody is not meant to go where you're going. And God has a way of removing and trimming the excess fat out of your life. Those that were once valuable to you, those that once meant something to you, it's hard to see them walk away. It's hard because you don't know why. You don't understand why. And because we're creatures of habit, we're so used to them being around till we get to the point where we feel like we cannot live without them. But that's completely garbage. Because after all of the things that I've lost suddenly over the last 2 years, I'm here to tell you that there is truly life after the pain. But you have to make the decision that you're not going to let it hinder you, that you're not going to that you're not going to allow it to keep you where you are. Everything that we go through is part of our journey. And in part of our journey, there are going to be bumps. There are going to be bruises. There are going to be things that happen to us that we just don't understand. And for the life of me, there are certain things that have happened to me over the last 2 years. I promise you, I do not understand to this day why it happened. And I probably will never know why it happened. But one thing I do know is that it has played a role into getting me where I am right now. So as I learned as a child, I'm learning to count it all joy. I'm not that shy little kid anymore. I'm not that passive person anymore. I'm not that person that has no confidence whatsoever. And I really am to the point where I could care less what people think of me anymore. Because I know the purpose that God has placed on my life. I know the gifts and the talents that he's placed in me. I know that whatever I put in the atmosphere, whatever he tells me to put in the atmosphere, it is going to hit those that it needs to touch. And Ramona, you just gave me confirmation by saying this landed in my timeline for the reason of me needing to hear this message. I don't take no credit for that, because the fact is you hopped on and said, where have I been? Because you haven't been seeing any Facebook Lives yet. I've been doing Facebook Lives every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 Central. Every Tuesday. I did one last week. But somehow you caught this one. And that's not by mere circumstance. And like you said, it's for a reason. There's a reason that you're watching right now. There's a reason that everybody's watching right now. And the thing about it is, God is just feeding my spirit right now. There's nothing planned. There's no notes. There's no outline. This is just me raw. This is just me speaking from my heart. Because if you knew the hell that I've been through, my godmother and auntie knows the hell that I've been through. But yet, I did not let it destroy me. I did not let it destroy my heart. I did not let it destroy my hunger, because I thought about something that the Bible says when it says, blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, because the promise is, for they shall be filled. Think about what you've lost. Think about what was stolen from you for whatever reason. Because we serve a God that specializes in standing and honoring his promises. You've heard me say it before. Behind our feelings is nothing, but behind every principle is a promise. Because of that, I know that all things are working together for my good. And I'm here to tell you that everything that you've gone through, everything, every setback, every heartbreak, every disappointment, those that let you down, those that turn their back, those that are walking around acting like they don't know what's going on with you, acting like they don't care what's going on with you, all of it's still going to work out for your good. One of the songs that's been in my spirit over the last week is entitled Faithful is Our God. And I love that song because it says, I'm reaping the harvest God promised me. Take back what the devil stole from me. Everything that has been stolen from me, minimum, I'm going to get double. Minimum. That's what the scripture says. And I'm not even trying. It ain't even about preaching. I don't consider myself a preacher. I consider myself a teacher. So I'm teaching you what I know. I'm living it. If I stayed where I was, I think about everything that's happened just over the last year, when I've been able to meet my mentor, Les Brown, when I've been able to speak on stage for the first time ever, when I've been able to share a platform with him, when I've been able to have my first paid speaking gig, when I was able to launch my apparel line, when I was able to write my very first book in less than 2 months, and it was something I was putting off for almost 20 years. That's on the way in December, by the way. Everything that's happened, if I stayed where I was 1 year ago, today, none of what I just shared would have happened, because I still would have been saying, why me? I still would have been trying to figure out how to get everything perfectly lined up. Sometimes God is just waiting for you to take the first step, because I've heard it said this way, that the steps of a good man are ordered by God. That means that you have to take some steps. You can't just sit back and just wait. There's a time to wait. But maybe this is not your season of waiting. Maybe this is your season to take action. What do you need to take action on? What do you need to get out of your spirit? What do you need to release to the world? Because this is how you know when you're over something. This is how you know you have overcome a struggle, not on your own strength. And I'm telling you what I know. So if you don't get anything else out of this podcast tonight, get this. I'm telling you what I know, because I am living proof. I'm living it right now. Am I where I want to be? No. But thank God I'm not where I used to be. Thank God I am not where I was a year ago. Because for a brief moment, bitterness starts setting in. For a brief moment. And that's human, because when things happen out of the ordinary, when things happen that you have no reason, no understanding of, you begin to question yourself, and you begin to look at a lot of different people differently. To this day, I look at a lot of people differently right now, because they have exposed themselves, and they're still walking around acting like I don't know what they know. And that's what makes it even more egregious, because some of them have looked me dead in the eye, like I'm looking dead in this camera, and telling me to my face that they consider me family. Where I'm from, and I have family watching right now, family is nosy by nature. So when you're dealing with something, when you're hurting, when something seems off, so to speak, you begin to start asking questions. That's what real family does. And so then not to mention, I mentioned all the stuff that's happened over the last year. I forgot to mention the fact that I had a chance to go on an all-inclusive trip to Mexico, which changed my life. And I've said on previous podcasts that I believe it saved my life. I'm just going to be transparent. I believe at that moment it changed my life. It saved my life. And I'm unapologetic when I say that. Because had that trip not happened, rest assured, I still would have been pondering on writing a book. That book would not have been written had I not went on that trip. At least not right now. I still would have been procrastinating. What do you need to get out? What do you need to release? Because you can't carry the load that you're carrying right now. It's not meant for you to carry. Some things you just have to release. And when you release it, that means you don't pick it back up. You release it. You put it in the mail, return to sender. Meaning it's not coming back to where you are. There are some things, there are some people that you're going to have to release in order to get to the next level. And I'm telling you what I know. But I'm going to tell you why it's not all in vain. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, because you are loved by God, because you are chosen by God, because you are protected by God, that right there alone lets you know that you have what it takes to overcome any obstacle, any situation that comes your way. Not on your own strength, but because the God that is leading and guiding you. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I'm living right now. And I'm thinking about, and I'm thanking God in advance for all of the people that's going to be impacted because of the fact that I decided to make a move and stop making an excuse. And you've heard me say it on virtually every video I've done. And I just checked and I'm almost at 1,000 videos. I'm across 1,000 videos recorded this week. You've heard me say it that in life you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you can't do both. So I decided to put my money where my mouth is. And I decided to make moves silently. Only telling certain people, because you can't tell your dreams to everybody. And because of your struggle, because of the things that you learned the hard way, no matter, and it won't always feel good. But I'm here to tell you, regardless to who walks away, it's just a little dirt. It's just a little stain. Trust me, you're still worth it. Even in the midst of you going through pain. Don't be so hard on yourself. That is something I had to learn. And it took me 30 years to learn it. Because I am my own worst critic. Nobody is harder on me than me. And I'm sure that nobody is harder on you than you are. But learn this, understand this, realize this. All things are going to work out in your favor. It might be the midnight hour for you right now, but that thing can still turn around. Can still turn it around. And the fact of the matter is this. One of the things, and Ramona, I appreciate you saying that because some of your affirmations are my affirmations that I say every day. Mine sound like this. Mine say, I will listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit within me. I will lead and not follow. I will create and not destroy. I set new standards. I defy the odds. I am a leader. I am the head and not the tail. I am the lender and not the borrower. I am above and not beneath. I am loved by God. I am chosen by God. I am protected by God. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And every tongue that rises above me in judgment shall be condemned. I am a champion and everything that I touch turns into gold. Everything I'm seeking now is seeking me. It is my season. It is my turn. I am humble. I am happy. I am wealthy. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am a champion. I will never be broke a day in my life. I am created for greatness and so it is. Those are my affirmations that I say every day. Every single day. And I say it because when I get to the point where I don't feel like doing something, I have to remind myself, think of everything that you've gone through. It's still going to be worth it. You did not go through what you've gone through simply to go through what you've gone through. There is a purpose, there's a reason behind everything that you go through. And that right there is the very reason why everything that you've gone through, it's not all in vain. It's not. Even when you carry hurt and you release it, you learn from your mistakes. And I had to get to the point where I stopped being afraid to make mistakes because I did what everybody expected me to do until I came to myself and I realized that I was living for other people. And it damaged me inside. It hurt me inside. Until I went through a situation that I never thought I would go through back in 2011. When I experienced betrayal from the church, when I experienced betrayal from someone that I loved that walked out on me, and later it turned into an annulled marriage. I'm telling you, I'm being transparent. So this elevation that you're seeing, that you've witnessed, it didn't happen overnight, but it started because I made a decision that I'm not going to let my circumstances define me. I'm not going to let what somebody thinks of me define who I am. But I am going to let it fuel my fire. I am going to let it motivate me. I am going to allow it to help me push towards greatness. And I've said this before. This is my definition of greatness. Greatness is the ability to authentically walk in your truth, regardless of setbacks, recognizing that shortcomings are inevitable, realizing that the price of achieving it is taking responsibility. So what I'm saying is, the reason that everything that you're going through, where you are right now, the reason that it is not all in vain is because when you get to a point where you can own everything that has happened to you, you become a blessing to others. And I'm telling you what I know. Here's why. Earlier today, I had the opportunity to do something I've never done before. I had an opportunity to go to a school and speak life into some kids. I had never done that before. And I was requested. And I had a chance to talk to the principal after speaking to the kids. And he asked me, and it was good to see the principal be a black male. That did my heart some good. He asked me, would I be willing to come back and speak to the kids again? If I stayed where I was, the opportunity would not have come. You have to make a decision that, yes, it hurt you. Yes, what they did was wrong. You might never know why they did what they did. But guess what? It still does not mean that your life does not have purpose. It still does not mean that you're not worth it. Because guess what? You're worth it. And there are people that are assigned to you. There are people that need to hear your story. There are people that need to hear your voice. My aunt can tell you right now, and I think that she is stunned at times when she hears me speak, because she remembers when I grew up with lead poisoning. She remembers when I was diagnosed with lead poisoning. She remembers when they told me I was going to end up mentally retarded. And now I sit here as a college graduate and as an ordained minister, soon to be an assistant pastor. Yeah, I hadn't mentioned that either. That's coming in 2018. So the fact is this. I'm here today, not because I've been so good, not because I've done everything perfectly, but because I realized that at the end of it all, you have to leave a legacy. You have to get to a point where you do something that's bigger than your selfishness. You have to do something that's going to impact someone other than the person that you look at in the mirror. You think that I shot almost 1,000 videos just to hear myself talk? No. I shot them because I don't know who it's going to impact. I don't know what doors are going to open from that. But one thing that I do know is, had I not turned on that camera and started talking, it would not have led to me speaking. It would not have led to me being able to get on stage. It would not have have led to me being able to go and speak to kids today. And it would not have allowed me to be able to impact people in Africa. It would not have happened. And not only that, things are in the works right now. And I'm saying this publicly now. Things are in the works now where I've said that my father's biggest dream, he never lived to see accomplished. At the end of 2018, because I believe that death and life is in the power of our tongue. So I'm saying this, I'm speaking this from my heart, out of my tongue, out of my soul, that in late 2018, I will travel to Africa. It's going down. It's already in the works. It's already in the works. It's bigger than me. I said I was determined to finish the one thing that my father never saw accomplished while he was alive. I'm going to honor his memory. I thought when that happened that there was going to be someone in particular by my side. Well, God said otherwise. And I'm cool with that. Even though I don't know the reasons why. But one thing I do know is that God doesn't make mistakes. And there's a reason for everything that we go through. I received that, Ramona. I received that. I received that. That means I'm going to make a second trip. I received that. And I believe we will meet one day. We will meet. Because nothing is impossible to me. Because I've been willing to put my faith in action. And I can assure you that the best is still to come. No matter what you go through, realize it's not all in vain. No matter what you've gone through, the good and the bad, nothing happens just to happen. There is a reason. There is a reason for everything that you go through. Life consists of two things. Life consists of blessings and lessons. I've had a lot of blessings happen in 2017 that by faith is going to happen again in 2018 and it's going to be on a whole nother level. But I'm going to tell you this, it is a result of me taking action from the lessons that I learned in 2016. Too many people are carrying around things that they have no control over. You got to release it. And if you're not going to release it, recycle it. And the purpose of recycling it is to allow it to get you back focused and allow you to stay focused on everything that you're setting out to do. There has been a lot of pain in my life that I have released. But there is certain pain that I'm actually recycling right now. And it's pushing me to greatness. And when I tell you, I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. I had a young kid come to me. I'm about to wrap this up. I had a young kid come to me and tell me today that you just seem so confident. And I smiled because I remember when I lacked confidence, when I couldn't stand what I saw in the mirror, when I was so unsure of myself, when I couldn't understand why people just couldn't ask me what was wrong. And I remember a lady whom I love to life, but she's no longer here in the physical. And I call her my spiritual mother. And her name was Missionary Margaret Kelly. Back at the church that I grew up in, she came up to me when everybody else was judging me, when everybody else thought something was wrong with me or thought I was crazy. And she put her arms around me and she said, "What's wrong, son?" Sometimes that's all it takes to know that everything is going to be all right. And over the last year, I feel like God has had me in his arms after going through the worst year of my life. And to be able to bounce back and come before you tonight and pour my heart out to you. Those are the things that I was thankful for going into Thanksgiving. Those are the things that I'm still thankful for. I'm thankful for the snakes in my life. I'm thankful for those who have shown who they really are. I'm even thankful for those who have walked away because they can't go where I'm going. And because I know that, and because I've still been able to be a blessing to someone else, and I know my mom is proud, and I know my godmother and my aunt are proud. I know that because they're putting hearts up. But the very reason that I'm standing here is because someone cared enough to speak life into me. My sister Kim, the educated natural, she knows what I've been through. She was one of those people that spoke life into me. I wasn't intending on going in this direction, but I know God has me in the pocket right now. So I'm just going to lean and depend and trust on him. When I tell you the best is still to come, you ain't seen my best yet. And the fact is, the world has not seen your best yet. It's time for you to live your best life. It's time for you to make your life count for something, because you have a purpose on your life that is bigger than you. Somebody's watching you right now, whether they tell you or not. They may never tell you, but are you still going to do what you have been purposed to do? With that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much to everybody that has hopped on. Mama, you know the reason I'm here, the reason I'm standing here, the reason I'm still standing, the reason I have not stooped, the reason that when I wanted to give people a piece of my mind that hurt me in 2016 and earlier this year is because of the things that you instilled in me. That's why this book that's coming is dedicated to you. That's why. Not just because you gave me birth, but because you gave me life when I felt like all hope was gone. Losing dad meant everything to me. It crushed me. And when I found myself having to encourage other people, people were coming to me. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out, everybody's coming to me, but who can I run to? My relationship with God started with a praying mother. It started with a praying grandmother. God rest her soul. It started with people caring enough about me to say, Arian, I love you. And you matter. That's why I'm here. That's why everything is going to happen. Everything that I've talked about, even the things that I have not talked about, that I'm working on behind the scenes, is going to happen. Because it's bigger than me. And you're right. There's nothing in the world like a mother's love. Nothing. No question. But there's nothing in the world like a godmother's love either. I'm who I am. I am who I've become because of those that have been in my corner, because of those that have been loyal, because of those that have been supportive, because of those that have told me what I needed to hear and not necessarily what I wanted to hear. That's why I'm excited about this book. And if you have not already done so, you can pre-order my book. It is entitled Love Me or Hate Me, My Journey from Motivation to Elevation. You can pre-order it at www.lovemeorhateme.org. Again, that's www.lovemeorhateme.org. And again, as always, in life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. It is yours truly, Arian Tyson, the Moving Motivator. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule on this Tuesday night to hop on and hear what has been placed on my heart. It has been a great year. The year is not over yet, and I promise you, 2018 is going to be even better than 2017 has been. We're just getting started. And the book is on the way. The book will be finally released in December, just in time for the holidays, for Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. It's going to be available. And I'm excited about it. I put everything I had into it, and it was very therapeutic for me. So I call it a night. God bless you all. Thank you so much. And I will be back next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 here in the Central Time Zone for another edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. Remember, what you go through, it's not all in vain. Good night.